something I've really struggled with for a lot of my life, but especially since high school started, and was just being able to find my identity and to be okay with who I am, and I've struggled with self-worth and security in who I am, and just struggling to figure out who I am and who I want to be, and I've tried to control that in so many different ways. I've struggled with an eating disorder. I've struggled with, just self-hate, for so long, and just putting myself down because I wasn't happy with who I am. And the whole time I was fighting God and fighting the way He was trying to mold me. And this is a process that is continuing every day, but I'm learning that Jesus is the one who defines me. Nothing about me defines me more than Jesus does, and letting Him mold me and make me into the woman I'm supposed to be is a really hard process, and it's something that I have to battle every day. I have to force myself to get out of my comfort zone and to allow myself to be molded. And as an artist, it's something I can wrap my mind around a little bit. I love ceramics and I love sculpture, and the artist knows what they're doing, usually. The clay has no say, ever. It doesn't have a say in what's happening or how it's being molded, and I have to learn to be like the clay and be willing to be molded and to be shaped.
So last year, heading into my first year of college, I really didn't think anything about my life. I had my whole life kind of planned out, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with everything, and I had it all planned out. I was going to go to Virginia Tech, do engineering there, and do it for 4 years, and get a good job, be set for life. But that did not turn out to actually work, because I had my whole life figured out for myself, and I kind of casted God to the back seat. Didn't really think that He could do a whole lot for me since He'd been there all throughout grade school, but now that I was going to college, my plan was going to be set in motion. And so I get up there, didn't know anybody, really loved my time up there, but the more I stayed there, I realized that that's not where I needed to be. I had to rely on God a lot during my first semester of college because I didn't know anybody. So I got a lot closer to Him, and He really showed me that, hey, you might love this university, you might love what you're doing, but this isn't where you need to be. So I decided to come back here to Kennesaw State. Now I'm doing journalism, which I love, and doing photography stuff, and He's just shown me ever since I came back that, this is where I need to be. I need to be doing this stuff because He's laid so much in my path. I've been able to do all these things with photography that I never thought I'd be able to do. I've met so many incredible people, and when you think that you have your life figured out, that's when it starts to go bad. When you get comfortable, that's when it starts to go bad. You think that you don't have to rely on God for anything or anybody else for anything, but really, life is hard and you don't have it all figured out. I thought I had it all figured out, but clearly not. And so He really kind of picked me up and was like, Corey, you turned from me and you didn't trust in me and my plan that I had for your life. And so now I'm here to show you what I want you to do and what you're called to do. And so now with that, I'm here and doing what He's called me to do, and hopefully going to take His name to other people who've never heard it, and we'll see where it goes from there. So I'm just following His call for my life.
All right, I've spent most of my adult life as a godless endeavor. I'm 50 years old. I didn't come back to Jesus until 2007. I want to tell you about how that happened. I'd struggled through my whole life trying to make it about me and making everything work because I did it. And what I'd basically done is I'd made my life miserable. My marriage was in shambles, and I was just, it was hell. Literally, it was hell. And I remember my wife and I were really on the edge. We were actually standing on the precipice. We were about to, it was about to end completely. And I remember we were parked in a parking lot fighting. And I got out of the car, and I just went over to, just kind of wandered off a couple of steps. hit my knees, and I just couldn't do it. And I said to this, I just said, please, Jesus, I can't do this. Help me, And I remember I was face down on the ground, on my knees, face down on the ground, and it was instant. Instant. There was no hesitation. There was nothing. He was there, right there, immediately. No, hey, are you sure? Or I don't know, man. You've done some pretty bad things. It was instant. And if I'd had the guts, I felt like I could have looked up and seen him. But I just laid there, and I was just absolutely overpowered by a sense of calm and love and acceptance, and the fact that I didn't have to do anything else. He'd done all the hard stuff. That being said, Jesus literally saved my life, saved my marriage, saved me from not being a part of my kids' lives, being able to watch Jesus pour into my children, into my family, and I would not be here now doing this if it wasn't for Jesus Christ. And that's all there is to it. Yeah. My name is Ren Perry.
I'm Becca Seltzer.
My name is Hancock.
Jesus is the Potter.
And Jesus is life.
And Jesus is my Lord and Savior.